Hey guys, happy Friday. I am Erik Hammond. Thanks for being here every single Friday morning to join us for Facebook Friday. Today we're talking about what it takes to be a real estate agent in 2020. So many of you guys are getting into this business, being brand new and trying to figure things out for the first time. I'm gonna run down the list of what it takes to be a real estate agent and survive in today's market. So let's go get into it. Hey guys, and welcome. Today is Facebook Friday. We show you guys how to grow your business, how to do more with technology, and just how to do some awesome things with what's available in today's marketplace.
I want to have to go work for a company. I want to do my own thing and have my own potential and have my own flexibility of doing that thing.
That if you don't live by your calendar, you don't have a life. So focus on that calendar and live by it. What's up guys, welcome back. Thanks again for checking us out every single Friday morning live on our Facebook channel, The Orange Stack. This this show actually becomes a podcast, it becomes a YouTube video, it's broken up into a whole bunch of different pieces of content. So wherever you're consuming this show, thanks for being here and thanks for joining us live if you're actually checking the show out right now. Guys, today we are talking about the fun topic of getting into real estate. And I know many of you guys have been selling homes for over 20 years and just fantastic at your business. So if you're an experienced agent, I still think there might be a couple of tricks up my sleeve that I might be able to help you guys win some awesome business this year. But if you're brand new to the game, if you've never sold a single house, this is the show for you. So let's get into it. You know, the one thing that I want you to realize is that real estate is not as it always appears. The TV shows on Bravo and HGTV and, you know, Flipman and $1 Million Real Estate Agent is not what real estate is all about. That's not really how it goes day to day. Yes, you can have this ritzy, glamorous life on TV and you can have amazing clients who buy $30 million properties, but for the most part, you're gonna be selling homes that are gonna range in value from $200,000 to $800,000, depending on where in the country you live. I live in Southern California and our average price of a home in my city is like $750,000. That's just normal. So if you wanna sell expensive real estate, be in Southern California. But for the most part, you guys are probably gonna be selling $200,000 to $300,000 homes, which means you're gonna be basing a 3% commission off that number. So that's still a decent amount of money if you can sell enough homes per year. The trick is that most agents, when they first start out, sell about 3 homes per year. So that equals, if you're selling a $300,000 house, about $9,000 per house. So that's about $27,000 per year. If you're giving up a full-time job making $40,000 or $50,000 per year somewhere else to make 27, you got to decide if it works out. One of the things that I want to talk to you today about is transitioning from a full-time job into becoming a full-time realtor. The trick is, don't just quit your job today and say, I'm going all in, this is the life for me, I'm gonna make real estate work for me. It can happen, but you've got to have some massive systems set up before you can make that move. So the things to realize is that your first year of real estate is probably gonna be your easiest. And I say this, and it may be hard for you to believe, but here's why. What happens is you're gonna go get your real estate license, you're gonna shout it from the rooftops, you know what, I just got my real estate license, I'm a realtor, I can help you sell your house. You're gonna tell everyone you know about it, you're gonna be super excited. You're gonna be posting on social media, tagging it up in all your Instagram posts, and everyone's gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's great. We've been thinking about buying a house. I'd love for you to work with us, right? You're gonna have all the give me business because your friends, your family, they're gonna feel obligated to work with you and it's gonna be great. It's gonna help you get through that first year. So you might end up selling 5, 6, maybe even 10 homes that first year, depending on who you know and where those relationships are. I've had family members who get their real estate license and they're one of the first ones and they come in and sell all their brothers and sisters and cousins and uncles and everybody. But then the third and fourth realtor of the family gets no business because everybody already bought. So you got to figure out where you are in that process and if you can actually sell your parents a house and your brother a house and your grandma a house and all those things. That's going to be your immediate business. Don't feel like you can't ask them because people move, right? People have needs. They change their lifestyle. They may not need that big house anymore, or maybe they're outgrowing their starter home. The point is tell everybody that you know that you're in business. I would say when you're first brand new, go print out 500 business cards and have a goal of giving those 500 business cards away in the first 6 months. You're going to give them all away. You're going to meet new people. You're going to start networking with people. You're going to be willing to do things that you may not have thought about. So hopefully you have an outgoing extrovert personality and you can talk to everybody that you meet, talk to all your friends, talk to all your families, spread the word on social media, get it out there. And that's how you're going to get through your first year. You're not going to know how to lead generate. You're not going to know how to prospect. You're not going to know how to knock doors. You're not going to know how to call people. That's okay. That time will come. Use your family and the people that you know who are in the process of thinking about buying or selling a house that you can work with now. Okay, so that's gonna get you through your first year. The second year is gonna be your hardest year because you had all this momentum and you sold all your family And now nobody's left to buy or sell, and that's where the lows come in. Because now you have to figure out how to cold call. You have to figure out how to call the expired listings and the for sale by owners. You have to figure out how to deal with all the people renting out there who are wanting to buy. You have to deal with holding open houses and converting those leads. You have to deal with buying lists from companies about who should I call. You have to cold call. You have to get out and door knock, which sucks if you live in a place that it snows because it's no fun to door knock in the snow. You've got to lead gen, and that's the challenge of going from year one with all the give me business to year two where you've got to figure it out on your own. There's gonna be real estates who are gonna give you scripts. There's gonna be people in your office who are going to tell you to get on the phone. There's going to be brokers who are going to motivate you and probably give you a couple leads here and there. But for the most part, it becomes a lonely year. So if you can get past that second year, you've made it, because now you figure out how to run a real estate business. The fact is that 87% of real estate agents are out within 18 to 24 months of getting their license. They just give up. They can't figure it out. That second year is so hard on them. They don't make any money, and they look back at their other job thinking, I made this much money working only 8 hours a day. I'm gonna go back to that job, right? You realize after you've been in real estate for about a year that real estate is not an 8-hour day. It's not a 40-hour job per week. It's not a 2,000-hour job per year. It's a lot more than that. It doesn't have to be, but for the most part it is. When you're brand new and you're trying to figure things out, you end up working 60, 70 hours. You work 7 days a week. You're on the phone all the time. You never walk away from this cell phone because you never know when your next lead's gonna call. And until you have systems set up and you've been in business for a few years and you have an assistant and you have systems in place to handle the lead that comes in, you're gonna be there all the time running this business. So don't think that you're gonna get you're not gonna get overwhelmed. It's gonna be a challenge, and it's okay. Maybe that's the excitement that comes with getting your real estate license. Maybe that's the thing that you want to embrace. So be prepared for it. Just know that it's coming. Once you get through that first kind of 2, 3 year, 4 year swing and you make it to year 5, you're pretty much golden. If you can get to that 5-year mark, you're pretty good to go. And I know that that seems like a long ways away, right? It's a lot of door knocks away. It's a lot of calls away, but it is possible. Just have plans, have your goals, have things figured out. So talked about that. As you get into calling and as you get into lead generating and talking to strangers about your business, I would say the biggest thing is to be comfortable with the word no. It's hard to hear at first and hard to get rejected. And when you start calling people in masses, I'm talking about like 200 or 300 people per day, you're gonna hear no a lot, like 299 times a day, probably, until you get your scripts down and you know your objection handlers and you have a system down that works for you and getting on the phone or knowing how to door knock. You're gonna hear a lot of no's, and it's okay, right? You're looking for the people who are ready. You can't work with everybody. Obviously, if you called 300 people and they all said yes, you'd have a problem, but good problem to have. So figure out how you handle your no's, figure out the objection that's coming. When I first got into real estate and I had to get on the phone, I would typically try to call for about 2 or 3 hours a day just because I didn't know that I had to call in massive volume. And so I'd typically call about 30 or 40 people per hour because I was manually dialing on my cell phone and I was having one-off conversations, and people were pretty friendly, but I got a lot of no's, right? And I was pretty good on the phone after a while, and I got more and more and more involved, and we rolled into what we call a dialer, which you have a computer system that basically calls for you and you pick up the phone when somebody's there and you talk, and it can power through a lot of phone numbers at the same time. You end up calling about maybe 80 or 90 phone numbers per hour. So you can mass call. With that many calls comes a lot of no's. So just figure out how you handle your no's, how to roll off of it. Don't take it personally. They're just frustrated or have their own thing going on. If you take that frustration home with you at night, it becomes a long day. So figure out how to just let it go and move on to the next one. I've got a couple notes here, so I want to make sure that I cover all these things. The next part is training. Get to know your trade the best that you can, right? You're up against real estate agents who've been selling homes for 20, 30, even 40 years. They've been through everything. I mean, they've sold hundreds of different transactions. They've dealt with condos and single family homes and multifamily properties and mobile homes and mansions and land and everything in between. And being brand new, it can be a little overwhelming. So take a lot of classes, figure out the niches that you want to be in. Don't try to be everything to everybody. Focus on something right from the beginning. If you can come up with a great niche that you want to focus on, right? If you want to just focus on condos or single family houses or just a community or a specific HOA, you're going to do far better than trying to cover everything and be everything to everyone. And you may not know what that is right off the bat. It may take 6 or 8 months for you to figure out what niche you want to be in, but find a niche that you're comfortable with, that you know a lot about. If it's single family homes, get to know everything about that house, right? Understand the roofs, understand the systems inside of it, the heating, the cooling, the water heaters, understand how the kitchens relate laid out in your community and how people maybe have improved the kitchen, so that when your buyers are there and they're like, I don't like this kitchen, you can say, well, did you know if you move this wall and you change that cabinet and you move this around, you're gonna end up with this, and you show them a picture of something else, right? Get to know your communities, get to know what people are looking for, what makes them buy, what they're hesitant about. Maybe there's some weird things that builders provided back in the day, but you can have a simple change. Just get to know your trade really well. People are gonna ask you questions you're not gonna know the answers to. It's okay. Don't be afraid to say, you know what, I'll get back to you on that. There's somebody in my office who can help me with this situation. I'm not sure. That's okay. People would rather hear that answer than a made up story or you trying to get through it. So be honest with people and go figure out the answer to that solution. Go through the contract. You should be able to, I got my piece of paper here, turn it upside down and explain it upside down and backwards across the table, because that's where your clients are gonna be when they're filling it out, right? As you're filling out a buyer agreement, you're gonna be able to explain it upside down. Our buyer agreement for an offer on a house is 15 pages here in Southern California. I've lived in states where it's only 6 pages, but either way, the font's pretty small and there's a lot of details. And when you're working with a first-time home buyer, they're gonna have a lot of questions about some of these big words that they use in the real estate contract. So read through that thing, have it memorized, not word for word, but just how to explain it, know what the words mean, and be able to explain it upside down. And you'll win, right? Try to be able to explain it to a 5th grader. That's what someone told me. If you can explain it to a 5th grader, you can explain it to your buyers. And if you know how to describe the words and the language that's going on, it's gonna make your clients a lot more comfortable. And they're gonna know that you know the contract and they're gonna be comfortable working with you. So get to know your trade better than anyone else. I guarantee there's agents who are on the market 5, 6, 7 years now who can't explain a contract. So get to know your contract, be better than them, provide value better than anybody else that you know. And that's how you're gonna stand out. On that note, be willing to provide value that nobody else is willing to do. I talk a lot about the things that make agents stand out and be different in their community, right? There's so many agents in your community who have the same license to sell the same real estate that you do. So rather than being a commodity, how are you gonna stand out and provide something that nobody else does? For me, in our county, there's 40,000 real estate agents, and to stand out and become one of the top real estate teams here in San Diego that we ran for year over year, you had to do things different. So one of the things we did was provide free staging to all of our clients. And I know there's other agents who provide free staging to their clients. And I know many agents aren't able to provide free staging because it costs so much money. But it was one of the things that worked for us. It allowed us to separate ourselves and provide a value that nobody else was willing to do. The other thing was being able to have a list of contractors available to the homeowner so that when they wanted to repaint their house or wanted to replace the windows or upgrade the water heater or change the countertops in the kitchen, they were available to them. Whether it was a buyer who wanted to improve their house or if we were selling a house, we could help them repair their house, increase the value of it before they went to sell, and it allowed them to make more money on the sale and keep more equity when they went to buy their next house. So again, bringing value to that relationship, something that nobody else typically does, finding things that nobody else is offering and bringing that to the table so that you can stand out as a real estate agent. Again, a lot of these things you're not going to be able to provide year number 1 or year number 2, but it's something that you can work towards, right? You can build relationships with stagers and say, hey, when you mention my name with a stager, they're going to give you 10% off because this is the relationships that I bring to the table. I know contractors who can replace your water heater and give you a great deal on new granite countertops or give you stainless steel appliances or upgrade your flooring, right? Things that they want. You got to know what your clients want and be able to provide that to them. Okay, the other thing is open houses. Open houses are probably going to be your best bet for getting leads when you're first starting out because, again, you're not super comfortable with door knocking and getting on the phone, but an open house, people come, right? You put out your signs, they will come. I've been to plenty of open houses on a Saturday where we'll have 40, 50, 60 people walk through that door. And if you've got a partner or a mortgage lender or somebody that you can work with to gather names and take contact info down, you can follow up with them. You can send them emails. You can continue to communicate with this audience and hopefully finding those buyers who are ready to go and giving them what they're looking for. So find good open houses. Once they've been on the market for 2 or 3 weeks or getting kind of stale, so stick with the new ones. Stick with the ones that are, under 2 weeks old. If there's a price reduction on a home, that might be a good open house. What I would do is if you don't have any listings, which you probably don't right off the bat, go find other agents in your office who have new listings on the market who aren't going to hold open houses. A lot of the older agents are just not willing to because they don't need those leads. So you can say, look, I'm willing to do it. I'm going to go put out a bunch of signs. If you have any, I'll put them out for you. Signs aren't that expensive. They're probably $20 to $40 $5 per sign. Start collecting those things like Pokemon cards, right? Get as many of them as you can. Have a trunk full of them. I would recommend like 30 or 40 if you possibly can. It's gonna take you about an hour to set them all up, but the more signs you put up, the more people that are gonna come. Find an agent in your office who has these open houses, put up all the signs, bring a plate of cookies, bring some water, have it clearly marked out that you're an open house and that this house is amazing. Put it on Facebook if you can, put it on Instagram if you want to. Go knock the doors around the community and just say, hey, we're having an open house Saturday and Sunday, bring your friends. If you know somebody who wants to move into this community, this is a great price. Give them a flyer for the house, all that great stuff. And you're gonna get people to show up to your open house. Again, take down the numbers, take down the names, get an app like Open Home Pro for an iPad so that you can clearly read their handwriting after you get the signatures of them signing in, and then follow up. Send them an email thanking them for coming. Tell them about other listings in the community. Talk to them about how amazing your HOA is. Talk to them about how great your city is to live in. Bring value to that relationship as well. When I was brand new, I didn't want to pay my office fee to be in the office because it was like $500 a month, but I still needed a place to hang out every day with my laptop and my phone. So I would go find open houses during the week that were vacant. Monday through Friday, I would go live in an open house and I would just camp out there from like 10 in the morning till about 6 or 7 at night. I'd just be open all day for business. We'd probably get 5 to 10 people a day. It was nice because it was more of that one-on-one interaction. They look at the house, I could be working, I could be making phone calls, I could be running social media ads. It was a great business for me. So it saved me $500 a month as well. And then Saturday and Sundays was when my big open houses happened and I would have a ton of traffic to it. And then during the week, I could follow up with all the people who came to my weekend open houses. So that might be a strategy that works for you. Again, do things that other agents aren't willing to do. So many agents aren't willing to have open houses because they think it's a waste of time or they don't want to go set up the big open house signs. They don't want to have to bring cookies. They don't want to have to waste their Saturdays and Sundays. It depends how you look at it. I know that you're going to get a lot of people to an open house if you do it right. If you think it's a waste of time, it will be a waste of time and nobody will show up. But if you put in the work, advertise it properly, set up the signs, have a good presence, and pick a house that people actually want to buy, right? Don't pick the houses that nobody wants to hold the open house for. Pick the homes that people want to buy. And if nobody in your office has any open houses for you, go to other brokerages. I know some brokerages don't allow that, but most do, right? Go find other listings in your area, call those agents and say, you know what, I might not be at your brokerage, but I'm a hungry new agent and I want to hold an open house. I'm willing to do it for you. Even if I have to pay you part of my commission to make this work for you, be willing to do that. Giving up 20% of your commission to hold an open house that's in a great area that's gonna sell quickly to get you a whole bunch of buyer leads will be worth it, trust me. So anyway, hold an open house. If you can do 50 open houses this year, that will change your business, I guarantee it. Take 2 weeks off, Christmas and Thanksgiving we have coming up here pretty soon, whatever days you want to do. There's going to be some weekends like Super Bowl Sunday where people just don't go to open houses, but if you could do 50 open houses your first or second year, I guarantee you will have a business different than you ever dreamed of, okay? So do that. The last thing I think I want to just kind of talk to you for a moment on is the internet. We are so lucky to be in a world where the internet is available, right? We have social media available, we have YouTube available, we can be streaming just like this, free for the world to see. Guys, there's over 2 billion people on this platform that I'm streaming to right now, and I have access to all of them for free as long as they're willing to consume the content that I have to put out there. Back in the 90s when you were selling real estate, there literally was a book. In some of the areas that I've lived, there's been a book that was about that thick. You open it up, it had one picture and a little description of every single house, and then somewhere in that office where that book sat, there was a key to that house. So if you wanted to go show a home, you bring your client over to the office, you'd flip through all the pages of that book, who knows if they sold or not, you'd find the phone number, you'd be able to call the brokerage office and say, hey, I want to go show this house. You'd find the key in the midst of all the keys and you'd go over there and show that house. That's how real estate happened back in the 1990s. So aren't you glad that we live in a digital world where people can find their own house on a phone, that you can use your phone to get into lockboxes, that you can show houses, that you can preview homes with 3D technology, and you can find all your clients online. It is such a magical world. Guys, I am so grateful to be alive today. I'm thankful for the opportunity that I have to live in a digital world and be selling homes in 2020 and being able to communicate with you. If you're brand new in real estate, don't let technology hold you back. Find out how to use it, how to embrace it, how to work with it. Find out how to get past year 2 so that you don't become the 87% statistic and be one of the 13% that survives the real estate bubble that's gonna happen to you in that first 24 months. Guys, if you have questions, if you get stuck with anything, I'm here to help. I've been in real estate for over 10 years. I've knocked hundreds and thousands of doors. I've called thousands and thousands and thousands of people on the phone. Here to help you do whatever I can to help you succeed in real estate. Thanks thanks for being here. If you're the new agent getting into this business, I wish you the best of luck. If you're the experienced agent, reach out to a new agent. Give them some help. Take them under your wings. Role play with them. Give them some scripts that have worked with you. Give them a few pieces of advice that have helped you in your business. And let's make this real estate dream possible. Guys, I'm Erik Hammond. Thanks for being here. We will see you next week on Facebook Friday. Bye, guys.